Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to RetroTink. My name is Mike. Today we're going to be doing our first in the new series of SystemSesh. Now the SystemSeshes are where we talk about hardware, and we're kicking it off with an unboxing of what, I hear you ask? This. Check out the new intro. Okay, now then, before we get stuck in with whatever it is I bought, you know it's in the title, I am going to just quickly talk you through the basic setup that we have, or at least had, here at RetroTink for capturing consoles. So, imagine you have your console. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You get your composite out of that, and you plug it into this, which is a cheap eBay sort of, it's a switcher, right? You can plug 4 consoles into this, have one out, you've got your composite out, and you can flick through the consoles easily using that. It's great. We've actually got 2 of them. There you go. Stack them. Of course, I must say, I'm not going to be using those for today's experiment, I guess you could say, because I don't want them to be a variable. I want to find out exactly what kind of quality I'm going to be getting from this. I know composite's crap, apparently, but I don't care. That's what I've always used. Now then, going from that, you have your composite cables, it goes into a HDMI upscaler. We did start off with a very cheap eBay little white box thing, which was fine, it worked to be fair, but it didn't work on the 8-bit systems or 16-bit systems, so I then splashed out, I think it was about 40 quid for, it was a bit more of an industrious looking one, it was a metal box and everything like that. But that had exactly the same sort of symptoms, I guess you could say. So it would I think with the 16-bit systems, it would show up, it would display them through HDMI, but it wouldn't work through the capture card. And with the really old systems, the mass system particularly, it would be like greens were like bright pink. Weird things like that. So it was just a bit of a weird one, and we ended up actually having to use not our HD60S capture card, but we ended up having to use our original Game Capture HD with its, composite dongle straight out of the Master System, for instance, in this case, to record, which is fine for recording, but we couldn't stream because we stream using this one, because it works live through USB-C, it's much faster, and you could literally watch the stream output and just use that for playing a game. It's great, it's really good. However, we couldn't use the older console, so we've literally been stuck to streaming. Well, the oldest console we could stream was like PlayStation era, if you like. So that's a bit shit, especially when we've got so many games around us that we could feasibly play. I moved house, the pandemic happened, all this sort of crap, and that black 40 quid upscaler broke before we moved. And then I lost the little white one in transit, I guess. I don't know, I still haven't found it to this day. A bit unmotivated too, because I knew it didn't work for its purpose, and the microphone's fallen down. So with that, I mean, I didn't really want to even find it, because I knew it wasn't going to work with all the consoles that we have, with all the games, and I knew Pete wasn't going to come around anytime soon because, well, there's a pandemic. So I thought, you know what, okay, let's try and solve this issue. I did a bit of research, and I found, there's the FrameMeister, I think it's called, which is horrendously expensive. But I think if you are, really, really rich, then you got that option. There's the OSSC, I think it is. I can't remember what it stands for now. Oh, crap. Oh, what does it stand for? I know you're all shouting at me. It stands for this, Mike. Open Source Scan Converter, you idiot. There you go, Open Source Scan Converter, which, to be fair, is pretty much basically what we have here, except this is a RetroTink, straight from San Diego. So I bought this because about 140 quid, plus that was including delivery, plus I got slapped with the old, oh, you live in England, do you? Well, let's fucking charge you then! 15 quid extra on top there for that privilege. So 155 quid in, and that doesn't really matter, because if it means that it's going to properly upscale or line doubler, I think this is a line doubler, I don't even know the tech, to be honest. I just know that it works pretty much with all the consoles, and I know it should hopefully fix our problem. So we're going to start off. This should be the Pro model. I literally haven't opened this box yet. All I did was cut my address off of it. Look, so yeah, all I did was cut that off. So let's get started. I don't have a proper unboxing set, and nor will we probably ever have one. But I will put some shots. I've already torn the box. Oh yeah, beautiful, Mike. Nice unboxing video, mate. Yeah, just tear that fucking box open. Why even put it in a box? You could just tear it open. Get some shears on it. See if we can unbox. There, okay, good stuff. Right, box. There's things inside. Isn't it good when there's things inside the box? Oh, look at that braided cable. Look, for power, I assume. Nice. Look at that. Nice. We'll put that there. And that's probably the thing itself. RetroTink. There you go. It's probably going to be a bit funny because of the green screen, but there you go. And a bit of paper. Oh god. Okay, so that's all that's in the box. A bit of paper. Congratulations, you now own a RetroTink 2X Pro, a zero-lag upscaler for your retro console. To get started, simply plug the USB power cord, video cables, and power up your console. Simply plug the USB power cord, video cables, and simply power up your console. Press the input button until you get a color image. Make sure the mode switch is set to line 2X, and that the COM switch, or COM switch, is set to retro. Okay. Check out our website, RetroTink.com, to download a full user manual, additional information, and firmware updates. If you need further assistance, please send an email to blah blah blah. Thank you again for making premium boutique retro gaming products possible, Mike. I assume that this person's called Mike, not he's addressing me as Mike. That would be a bit much. There you go, pause it and read it for yourself. There you go, you heard it here first. I will say, this is not sponsored or anything like that. I think it goes without saying, right? But just in case. Right, got a nice sticker. I like the sticker, man. The sticker's cool. So bubble wrapped. Oh, it's not even bubble wrapped. Sorry, it's kind of like that, in two kind of halves. And it's like I've ordered some sort of bit of amethyst or something on the internet, like a gemstone. Can I just say, this when I first ordered it, it said it was going to take 2 to 12 weeks, and I was like, okay, that's a really long time if it's like 12 weeks. But this is like the only option that I have, unless I spend super money. So super money. So yeah, I was kind of just in for it in a way. But it actually arrived in like 2 weeks, so that's really good. There's our first little squiz look. Oh, nice, like the see-through casing, and it's exactly the same as all the pictures kind of described it. So you got your composite component, HD component inputs on that side. It's my first fucking unboxing, all right? Lay off. Component there. S-video here, nice, and some switches there. Oh, mode and COM. They're the ones that it told us in there. So we need retro, which is already on, and line 2X, which is already on. Good. You've got an input and filter. Input and filter. So you've got input, I assume, switches between, composite, component, S-video, many others, I'm sure. No, probably it, actually. And filter. I don't know what filters it has. I know that it has at least a sharpen one to sharpen, and also a scan line one, right? Which is really weird because there's this massive division in the retro gaming community where like half the people are like, oh, I quite like scan lines actually, It makes them feel a bit better. It makes it feel like I'm playing it as a kid. It's super nostalgic. And then you get the other half who are like, no, why would you ever want obstructions in the way of what you're seeing? That's silliness. We've come further than that. Why are you doing that? You're so stupid. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll have to try it out and see which side of the fence I'm on. You then have HDMI out, full-size HDMI out, might I add. That's one of the differences between this one and the Mini. The Mini just only has Mini HDMI. Oh, I love a big fat boy HDMI there. HDMI, should I say. And there's your micro USB for power. Good stuff. I don't know how well that's coming in. Yeah, sure, you can see it. You know what's happening. I'll take some pictures and put it in post as well. And then on the bottom, another little sticker with RetroTink written on it. I know you can't see it. The lighting here is far too atrocious. Well, there you go. I guess what we're going to do now, because this is a mic video, we're going to test it out, right? And we're going to use Sega to do it so. So we're going to start off with the Dreamcast. That is because never had a problem capturing it through either the shit little HDMI upscaler, the more expensive HDMI upscaler, through either capture cards. It just worked on every platform. So we'll do that first as kind of like a base mark. Base mark? What is happening to me? A base mark, and make sure that it captures and it comes through. And then after that, we will use the Master System, which is the most unfriendly one to technology to play now. You know what I mean? It's the hardest one. It's never worked through capture at all, apart from recording through the old one. You get it, through an upscaler it hasn't worked. We'll try it out.
2 hours later.
Right, it has literally been 2 hours. The sun's gone down now outside. I'll talk you through my experience first of all. I plugged everything in, which I'm quite familiar with. You plugged it in, and I obviously checked that the switches and everything were correct according to the manual, and it didn't work in the capture card. So I tried a few different things and just unplugging things, plugging things in, nothing worked, and tried a different console, that didn't work. So then I put it in the TV, which did work. It worked great in the TV. And then I thought, oh no, is it just not compatible with the HD60S or something? But I don't know what happened basically. I did a firmware update on it, as I read off the little slip of paper. You could do firmware updates, and there was indeed a few generations newer. But I don't know if that fixed it, but it does work now. I know that sounds silly. Well, if it works now, then obviously that did fix it. But there was another variable, and that is the software I was using, Elgato's Game Capture HD software. And that I tried it, I closed it down, and then I opened OBS, and that worked, but it was in black and white. I was like, what? Well, that's close. At least I know that the capture card is actually receiving the signals, understanding it, and trying to do something with it. So it's now a software problem. So that was good. And I thought, oh, bloody hell. And I tried a few different settings and everything. That didn't work, or change it to colour. Also, audio was fine, actually. All the way through this, might I add, audio was fine. I could hear even when it wasn't picking up the video. So I closed down OBS and then reopened Elgato, at which point it showed, but it was still in black and white. But I was like, okay, but now it's working in that software too. So I then cycled through the inputs again, and it was fine. It went from black and white to colour, and it was good. So I don't know what happened there, but I've cycled through. I've tried a couple of different consoles. I used the PlayStation as well, just to test it. I haven't actually played any games yet, just to add, but it works, which is great, because I have an horrible, I'm gonna have to send it back, and it's gonna cost me fucking so much money to send it back, and then they're gonna go, oh no, we're not gonna, I don't know, they're probably really nice guys, and I'm sure they would do anything, but that was required. But it's just such a hassle, when all I want to do is work. And this was the opposite. I was paying money to have the convenience, and yeah, never mind, it's working now. And I think all I need to do is start everything first and then open the software. If you open the software before you've turned everything on, then turn it on, then the software won't pick it up. Whatever, it's working. Alright, we're going to play some Dreamcast, and the game we're going to play is Sega GT. Why? It hasn't been on the channel yet, actually. It's like one of my favourite Dreamcast games. But more importantly, with regards to this video, it's quite graphically challenging. It looks quite nice. It may also be worth noting that I am using an aftermarket Dreamcast cable. Not in a good way. It's like a Chinese, shit one. So I've heard, in order to get the best, quality out of it, get better cables. But we're using what I got. This is what I've got. I can see the line at the top there of the screen is shaking, right? And at the bottom. I don't remember seeing that before. Also, it's quite small, right? Like the actual screen. I remember it filling the screen before.
Okay, well, let's just go for it. Look at that, it's shaking, isn't it? That's annoying. I wonder what it's like when it actually... It might just be these splash screens at the beginning, you know? Look at this cinematic. It's good. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but it looks good, doesn't it? Not impressed so far, I've fucking got to say. Look at the fucking lines going on here. Look at it all. The text is moving. I haven't even played the game yet, and I know. Like, the thing is, we don't have the other upscalers to compare it to, which is annoying. I wish I did. The shaking is less noticeable when you're actually... Okay, yeah. I haven't played this game in a while. Leave it out. We're doing the graphics. We're not having a go at my gameplay, alright? It looks good. It looks fine. It looks great. Is it noticeably better, though? No, I'm not like looking at it like, whoa! I've never seen a game look this good. But I didn't buy it for that, to be honest. I did buy it for compatibility. And for it to function with the other consoles, which... Now it's taken me so long just to get this game working, which, as I said at the beginning, the Dreamcast is one of the consoles that's like the easiest to capture, from my experience. That only just worked, so... Okay, right, there's our Dreamcast experience, but what I'll do... I failed, good stuff. What I'll do is... let's try the PS1 quickly, shall we? Just so, because that's a different cable, and if this shaking stuff is anything to do with cabling, then, well, we'll have a look at that, see if that changes something at least. Okay, we've got a bit of Doom! I will say that, yet again, even just swapping consoles over, I had to restart the Elgato software. That shat itself. As soon as you move the RetroTink over, it just shat itself. It absolutely fell on its arse. Had to restart the software. When I did restart the software, it was the Doom looked all stripy and it had like visual errors. Once I swapped screens and maximised it, and that fixed it. So I think the RetroTink is good, but the Elgato software needs work. Definitely. They're never going to do anything with it, are they? Okay, so yeah, okay, first of all, I noticed that this picture is super still. Like, the lines at the top and the bottom aren't moving at all. It's a very dark picture, though, of course, and it probably will be. But I can see around the Doom logo that there's some movement going on there, but nothing abnormal. This looks really good so far. I think this is noticeably better than what I'm used to with the normal capture through just a basic upscaler. So, game mode, single player. Pete and I were playing this, we were streaming it, we were going to complete it, but that was before COVID. Okay, there we go. Can't use the analog sticks. Oh, God. Okay, sure. Nope, he instantly went back to trying to use analog sticks. Well, there's a dead body on the floor there. Oh, R1 and... I don't know what shoot is. Triangle! Circle, triangle. Ugh! Oh, I remember this fucking level, I think. Ugh! Is this the dark room where you die? I think it is, isn't it? Anyway, it looks great. As I say, this one is noticeably better. It runs smooth. No noticeable lag. It's great. This is a good experience. Right. Now, for the final acid test. So basically what we're saying is the Dreamcast I need to get a fucking better cable for, because that's a bag of ass. I think that's all that's happened here, is that this hardware, the RetroTink, is now just expressing how important it is to have those cables. The first thing someone said to me when I said that I was getting this, and they said, make sure you get better cables too. you know, this is yet again another expense. You're talking like maybe 20 to 30 quid per cable. The PlayStation 1, of course, should work on PS1 and 2, so there's always that, and 3. I'm just playing this now. Right. Master System. There we go. Right. Start button. Will do. I want to be Robot Man. Normal, thank you. I'm shit at games. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. I just regurgitated some grenades. Oh yeah, whip. Nice. They're not fighting me, are they? No. This looks good. Sorry. And more importantly... Oh, fucking hell. I don't know how I'm lobbing grenades and stuff. Like, what... This... Get the slugs. I did a fucking... What's that? Meatballs. What the fuck? Energy, huh? Some more energy. Okay, look, I'm playing the game now. This looks great. There's no shimmering. It looks brilliant. It looks exactly as I'd expected from, well, Capture in the first place. But the fact that it actually works... Sorry, I'm just playing this. But the fact that it works is amazing. That's insane. Now we can play an entire back catalogue because the Master System works, and that is one that has been notoriously bastardised. Bastardised? No, it's just a dick. Because that has been notoriously hard, it means that I'm going to assume that the SNES and the Mega Drive, which those are also two consoles that wouldn't work through the new capture card. So that's great. The Elgato software is terrible. I found out, as well as my cable for the Dreamcast, the aerial there. So yeah, there we go, learning stuff. But it's an amazing piece of hardware once you get it working and you find out. I mean, if there's any content creators watching this, you will know what it's like trying to capture this original hardware. And as soon as you change one variable, or you get a new aerial, a new upscaler, a new capture card, some new software, it throws everything out. And it takes a while for you to get those teething problems out and get them rectified. And I'm so happy, after over 2 years now, I think, of doing RetroSesh, that we finally have like a fairly good setup. It's taken that long. Fucking hell. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, RetroTink, for making this device and enabling us all to play these games on modern hardware and even capture them and play them to the rest of the world. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Should you get one? I think yes. If you're going to be playing, you know, like many retro consoles, or at least frequently enough to warrant the purchase of it, then definitely. If you're just going to plug a Mega Drive in just for a bit of nostalgia and then put it back in the attic or whatever, then probably not. You probably just plug it in, you get your nostalgia hit, you'll be fine. But if you, especially for us, when we're like content creators who are constantly using these and we need that reliability and compatibility, yeah, no, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely great. And I can't wait to test it out and to get a new cable for my Dreamcast. Guys, I know I've been chatting a lot, but no, it's all right. What is it? 155 quid, and now we can play we can play a Master System, upscale it and line double it all the way up to a HDMI connection, then capture it, then put that into the computer, record me talking to you and the game, and I can stream it to the world. Guys, this is incredible. I'm so happy, and I'm so happy that that issue, which has been nagging me, has now been solved. I've been babbling a lot. You get the idea, guys. Buy one. Bye!